Interesting to pick up a little later with Johnson, who's a more interesting figure, and take it from Johnson, bring it up to the present. I'm tempted to do that. I have a character in Washington, D.C. who would be my age and would have lasted this long and would have watched the empire go from its absolute peak in 1945 to fall on its face in Korea in 1950-51, and then just go right off the wall in the Vietnam War. To observe that, but do I want to write such a sad book? I don't know.
So instead you turn to Golgotha?
Well, because that's a happy book with a happy ending. A Japanese ending, which is my tribute to the great empire to the west of us. Oh, I love the inventions. They take my mind off everything, you know, and you start in a world of what could have been, what might be. Timothy, Bishop Timothy, I suppose I should say, Saint Timothy, Tim boy. I want to level with you. Your gospel is all important to Christianity. On the other hand, creative programming is all important to General Electric and its subsidiary, the network NBC. Now we are getting ready for a big technical breakthrough in software. Any day now, we'll be able to get a camera crew back here, and when we do, we'll be able to tape all sorts of historical events live, as of then anyway, which is where you come in. I chuckle, a noise that I do rather well. Shouldn't I first get a lawyer? Chet gave me a sick smile. I had struck pay dirt. It's a bit too soon to be talking deal, but here's the big plan. We're going to be the first network to go back to Golgotha, where we will shoot the actual crucifixion. Resurrection, the whole ball of wax, live. Now, because viewer identification is the name of the game, that will mean lots of in-depth interviews, not only with the various notables present, but with your average man in the street. Naturally, I don't want to get your hopes up, but for anchor person, you're the front runner.
I'd really like to get into a discussion with Gore. He's been saying absolutely unspeakable things about me. He's been acting even worse than he usually does as a polemicist. You know, he's really, he's shameless in intellectual argument. He's absolutely without character, a moral foundation, or even intellectual substance. Okay. I mean, the perfect proof of what he does is that leave it to Gore to write a play about Richard Nixon. You know, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to end up liking Nixon.
I first met Norman Mailer in 1950, and relations were always quite friendly.
Of course I'll vote
until I criticized his book, The Prisoner of Sex, because he had taken on rather harshly women's liberation. And I attacked his attack on them. And he took it very personally and got very upset. Asked himself on the Cabot program in order to attack me.
We will be, there'll be a message and we'll be right back.
When I met Gore back in 1950 or 51, he said, I'm going to outlive you, and I'm going to write the history of our literary time. And implicit in that was Mailer, mind your manners around me for the rest of your time. Gore and I have had our differences. They've been small and famous. But I wouldn't have come here tonight if I couldn't salute him. And I have to tell you that I have had the pleasure of working with a great, if limited, actor. Anyway, wherever you are, Gore, your health, cheers.
I am startled to read how venomous I am. Vitriolic, vicious. And I often ask journalists who say this, could you quote something that I said that was vicious? Can you find anything that I said was venomous about somebody? And they can't. I may make a joke. Once again, the words failed Norman Mailer. He threw a glass at me. I don't regard that as venomous. Now we have a great entrance.
Oh, my Lord.
Hello, Gore. How are you?
None of us is his wife. To think someday all this will be mine. How are you?
Oh, well. And you?
Better for seeing you as the Irish treacherously say.
You were just in New York, I hear.
I think I was just in New York, yes.
Being a movie star.
Being a movie star, yeah. Oh, God, why didn't you do that? You've
Well,
got the face for it. It's so easy.
You did not see me in Back to School, where I starred with Rodney Dangerfield, and you missed it.
Oh, that was my part. I turned it down. And they got you.
True.
No, Dangerfield came to me, and I said...
Gore, I'm sorry I came to England.
I said, I draw the line, I said, at frontal nudity. But I said, I think Vonnegut is your man for this. And the next thing I knew, you were playing my part.
This may indeed be the case, because I know I wasn't the first choice, but I didn't know who the others were. I think they asked Mailer before they asked you.
No.
No?
He's the wrong height.
Getting back to Capote again. Did you say what I heard you had said when he died?
Well, I said it, but I said it in private to Jason Epstein, my editor, who had rung me from New York to say that Truman had ridden on ahead and crossed the shining river. Mm-hmm. And I did say, well, that was a good career move.
So you did say it.
I did say it, but I did not say it to the public. And Jason, of course, told everybody. And so I got full credit for having been stony-hearted at the loss of a confrère without price. The greatest jewel, the greatest zircon in the diadem of American literature.